I know you stopped everything you were doing just now because you felt, deep within your being, that you needed to hear my voice. You didn't click on these words out of human curiosity, but because of a calling from the Spirit. You arrived here with the weight of 1,000 mountains on your shoulders, desperately seeking a way to empty your heart of this seemingly endless pain. And I tell you now, you are not here by chance. There is a void in your chest that the world has tried to fill with noise and distractions, but only my silence can restore your wholeness. Why do you still insist on carrying what I have already offered to take away? In the next words I whisper in your ear, I will reveal the secret to transforming this suffocating anguish into a peace that surpasses all understanding, something I designed especially for this exact moment in your life. Just as I sustained Elijah in the desert, when he had no more strength and calmed the raging storm on the Sea of Galilee, I am here to do the same for you today. If you remain with me, in silence and surrender, until the last word is spoken, you will feel the burden slip from under your feet, and a strength you thought lost will spring forth again in your spirit. If this word of mine is reaching the depths of your soul now, speak to me here in the comments, saying your name, the country or city from which you are watching this meeting, and what time the clock shows in your prayer corner. Feel my embrace now, and let your heart speak like a sincere outpouring that rises to heaven. Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. I see you, my daughter. I see you when you sit on the edge of your bed, and the silence of the room seems to scream louder than any crowd. There is an invitation I extend to you today, not as an order, but as a refuge. Surrender to me what wounds you. Your soul is exhausted from trying to solve what only the Creator of the stars can fix. I want you to take a deep breath now and feel that you no longer need to pretend to be strong. The invitation to rest is not for those who are ready, but for those who are tired and burdened. I am stirring the waters of your spirit so that all that is bitter rises to the surface and is carried away by the current of my grace. But there is something you still hold on to, a small fragment of hurt that you have hidden even from yourself, and that is what I want to talk about next. If this truth has touched your heart, like this message so that it reaches other weary hearts. Tell me deep in your soul, what do you most want to give to me today? Write in the comments our word of faith, rest. But I haven't yet shown you everything I saw in that moment when you thought I was distant from you. I have been watching you in the moments when the world around you fades and only the small light in the kitchen remains on, casting shadows that seem as heavy as your own thoughts. I saw your hands tremble slightly as you held that cup of already cold coffee, not because of the early morning temperature, but because of the invisible weight of responsibilities and worries you never asked to carry, but accepted out of love or fear of disappointing others. There's a weariness that can't be cured by a simple night's sleep, a secret weight you keep locked behind a trained smile to tell everyone that everything is all right, while your soul, in the deepest silence, cries out for help that no one seems to notice. I know the texture of your loneliness and the weight of the silence that visits you when you finally lay your head on the pillow, and the clock on the wall seems to mark not the minutes, but the beats of a heart that feels exhausted from fighting alone. How many times have you looked at your own reflection and failed to recognize the light that once inhabited your eyes? I was there, counting each of your tears, even those you swallowed with effort, so as not to worry those around you, or to avoid admitting that the burden was becoming too heavy for one person alone. For it is written in Psalm 56, verse 8, that I myself collect your tears in my bottle, and that each one of them is recorded in my book. Nothing you endured in silence, no sleepless night, and no sigh of anguish went unnoticed by my fatherly eyes. I saw the exact moment when your hope seemed to wither, like a forgotten plant in a dark corner of the house, and I saw when you felt that heaven was made of bronze, as if your prayers hit the ceiling and returned empty to your chest. But understand, my chosen one, that this emptiness you feel today is not a sign of abandonment, but the space I am carefully clearing so that my glory may overflow. This secret weight that bends your back is being removed now, not by your own strength, but by the touch of my hands that restore what has been broken. You were not made to carry the weight of tomorrow before even living today. If this revelation has touched the depths of your heart, subscribe to continue walking under my protection and share this message as an act of care with those you know who also suffer in secret. In the midst of this turmoil you face, what is the greatest fear you haven't yet dared to tell me aloud? Write our healing word here in the comments. Rest. There is still something I am preparing in the shadows of your life, something your physical eyes cannot yet see, but that your spirit has already begun to feel vibrating. Look at your hands now. They were created by me not only to hold what is yours, but to sow what I deposit in your life. Nothing you possess is merely the fruit of your weariness. Everything is a breath of my constant generosity upon your home and your history. When I ask you to empty your heart of the pain that consumes you, I also invite you to fill it with gratitude that overflows in acts of kindness. If you feel in the deepest part of your being that this word of mine is the balm your soul has been yearning for, I invite you to make a movement of pure love. If it is possible for you, and only if it is possible, transform your gratitude into a living seed through this channel. Consider my immense love and the sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and contribute using the link you find in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There, you will see the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. Do not worry about amounts. You can contribute any value that your spirit feels. If you wish a different amount, simply type what you feel at the moment. Always remember, offer only what fits in your heart, and I will receive it with all my fatherly love. The earthly value doesn't matter. What matters is the purity and faith with which you give, for what seems little to you may be much to those who receive this message of hope through this work. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, please remember to include your name and city with your contribution. On the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in deep gratitude, and covered with divine blessings released in prophetic prayer. For it is written in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10, "He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness." Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit in your soil. I see the secret of your gesture and reward you in the sight of all. Remain with me until the end of this message, for I still wish to touch the core of your pain with my voice. I saw you that grey afternoon, when weariness seemed to have become your very skin. I remember well the moment you sat on that wooden bench, or perhaps it was in the worn armchair in your living room, and felt that the air around you was too heavy to breathe. There is a scene I keep in my divine memory, you observing the movement outside, people rushing by, the noise of traffic or the wind swaying the trees, and a feeling that the world kept turning while your life seemed to have stagnated in a swamp of uncertainties. I was there, feeling the chill that ran down your spine and the knot that tightened in your throat when you tried to formulate a prayer. But only silence came out. You know, my daughter, many say that I dwell only in golden temples or in songs of joy, but the truth that the world ignores is that my favorite place to dwell is exactly where you find yourself now, in the midst of the rubble of your heart. I do not shy away from pain. I am drawn to it. When you feel your soul is a dry desert, I become the rain you smell even before it falls. I saw when you touched your face and felt the roughness of your own skin, marked by sleepless nights, and I saw the silent question you asked the mirror. How long, Lord? For it is written in Psalm 34, verse 18, "The Lord is near to the broken-hearted and saves the crushed in spirit." This promise is not a poetic phrase to be read without emotion. It is my blood oath to you. When you break, I draw near. I do not come to judge the pieces that have fallen to the ground or to criticize the way you tried to glue them back together yourself. I come with a comfort that does not depend on human words, but on a presence that warms the heart and calms the trembling hands. I saw the moment when you thought your story would end in that chapter of losses, but I was already writing the turning point in the subtext of your suffering. Where the world sees an end, I see ground prepared for a new planting. Your pain is not a dead end, it is the dark corridor that leads to my banquet hall. If you felt my comfort embrace you now, like this message to seal this encounter, let me ask you, What is the name of the longing or memory that most tightens your chest at this very moment? Write our word of faith here in the comments, balm. But pay attention, because for my peace to occupy every corner of your soul, there is still something you need to let go of, something you hold so tightly that it has already begun to hurt the palms of your hands. My daughter, as you begin to open your hands and release these shackles of sorrow that have hurt you so much, I feel the desire to give you something I have prepared for the days when the silence of your home seems too heavy to bear alone. I know there are mornings when you wake up and the weight of reality returns to crush your chest even before you fully open your eyes, bringing memories of a past that I already want to leave behind. If your heart desires to go deeper with me in this healing and empty this pain once and for all, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, something I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to be your daily remedy, a constant companion in your early morning prayers, and a sure map for when the paths of your life seem cloudy or uncertain. It was made to accompany you day after day in silence and deep intimacy, transforming your weariness into a constancy that the world cannot take away. Access to this guide of love is also in the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. And listen carefully to what your Father tells you now. If today is not possible for you, do not condemn yourself or feel less loved because of it. Remain with me here, immersed in these words I am telling you, because I will also sustain you with this message until the last second of this video, and so that your heart may rest and not be confused by technical details. After you complete your simple registration, full access will arrive in the email you registered, with all the correct instructions, step by step, to begin our daily journey. For it is written, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. This gift is my outstretched hand to lift you from oppression and lead you to true rest. If you feel that my presence is enveloping you and giving you strength to continue, like this message and register, so you don't miss the trail of my voice in your life. Tell me, in the secret of your soul, which area of your life do you most need me to visit with my peace today? Write our word of offering here in the comments, renewal. I haven't finished speaking to your spirit yet. There's a new breath I'm breathing upon you right now, and you will feel it in the next step of this journey. Look closely at the palms of your hands now. I see the deep marks, the creases that the effort of holding on to the past has left etched into your flesh. You are afraid that if you let go of this hurt, this what if that haunts you, or that regret that bites at your heel, nothing will be left of you. But I ask you, with the tenderness of one who wove you in the womb, how long will you treat your wound as if it were your identity? I feel the cold tremor in your fingertips when you try to relax your hands after a long day of pretending you're made of iron. This constant tightening, this knot you tie in your own soul, is preventing the new thing I have prepared from reaching you. It's like trying to receive a valuable gift while keeping your fists clenched. One cannot embrace the future while carrying the corpse of yesterday on their back. I know letting go hurts. I know the unknown is more frightening than pain that has become familiar, however cruel it may be. But trust in my timing and my capacity for reconstruction. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 18 and 19. Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth, shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. I am opening these rivers now, but for the waters of my peace to flow freely, the bed of your heart needs to be free of debris. That harsh word they said to you in that kitchen 10 years ago, that door that closed when you most needed shelter, that silence from someone who should have protected and honored you, surrender all of that to me now. Feel the muscles in your shoulders yielding to the weight of my presence. Feel the air entering your lungs more easily, without that weight that felt like a belt tightening around your chest. I'm not asking you to forget through human effort, for I know that memory is alive, but I am asking you to give me custody of this burden. When you empty your hands of pain, you finally free them to hold my hand and walk out of this cave of isolation. If you feel that your hands are finally opening to my newness, Cherish this word as a seal of covenant. Tell me, with all the honesty of your soul, what are you willing to leave behind definitively in this encounter we have now? Write here in the comments our word of liberation: surrender. But don't think that your brilliance is lost forever in the shadows of this emptying process, for what I will restore in you in the next few moments will confound even those who saw you fall to the ground. Did you look in the mirror today and feel that the woman staring back at you was a stranger? I saw the moment you ran your fingers over the dark circles under your eyes, marked by sleepless nights, and the weariness that seems to have settled into the lines of your face, as if each worry had left a deep furrow in your skin. You tried to force a smile for others, but realized it no longer reached your eyes. They seemed opaque, like a window covered in the dust of a long sandstorm. I was there when you lowered your head, unable to hold your own gaze, feeling that your inner light had been extinguished under the weight of so many disappointments. But I tell you now, with the authority of the one who created the light, the brilliance you believe you have lost has not died. It has only been preserved by me in the place where darkness cannot touch. I am beginning a work of restoration that goes beyond the surface. While the world worries about appearances, I am diving deep into your soul to rekindle the flame of joy that grief, betrayal, or scarcity have tried to extinguish. In the coming days, you will feel a lightness you cannot explain. It will be as if a veil has been lifted from your eyes, and you will once again see the colors of life with the clarity of a child. For it is written in the book of the prophet Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, "I will restore the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the hopper, the destroyer, and the cutter. What time and pain have stolen from your countenance, my glory will return twofold." Do not be alarmed if people begin to notice something different about you, without you needing to say a single word. The radiance I am restoring in you is a reflection of my presence, which now finds a heart cleansed and emptied of bitterness. You will laugh again at situations that once made you cry, not out of indifference, but because your perspective is now from above. Your face will shine again, and the peace I planted in place of that old pain will be the most beautiful adornment you have ever worn. If you believe your light is shining again, like this message as a sign that you accept this transformation. Tell me, in the silence of your heart, what is the dream you thought had died and that I am awakening today? Write our word of faith here in the comments: restoration. But know that before the sun shines in its fullness, there is a sacred silence that I need you to learn to inhabit with me right now. There is a silence that precedes the great storms, but there is also a silence that prepares the ground for the deepest peace you have ever experienced in your entire existence. I know that for you, silence has been synonymous with loneliness and abandonment. I saw you sitting at the kitchen table, listening only to the constant hum of the refrigerator or the ticking of the clock on the wall, feeling that that emptiness was proof that I wasn't listening to you. But I want you to change your perspective on this moment. Silence is not my absence, it is my operating room. It is in silence that I operate on the most delicate parts of your soul, those that human words could never reach or heal. Often, I silence the voices around you so that you can finally distinguish my voice. I silence the noise of others' advice, criticism, and even your own demands so that in the stillness you may realize that my peace does not depend on favorable external circumstances. You have been waiting for a resounding sign, for a thunderclap to confirm your path, but I am in the light and gentle breath that makes your skin tingle in the middle of the afternoon. For it is written in Psalm 46, verse 10, "Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." Being still is not giving up. It is trusting that while you rest, I remain fully active. I am working on processes you cannot see, moving hearts you cannot reach, and opening paths in forests you thought were impassable. This silence that now envelops you is my protective embrace, preventing the chaos of the world from invading the sanctuary I am rebuilding within you. Breathe in the air of this moment and feel that you no longer need to shout to be heard. I hear you even before you think. If you accept this silence as a place of encounter and not of solitude, subscribe and share this video with someone who is also feeling forgotten by God. What has your silence been trying to tell me lately, in those hours when words simply don't come? Write our word of stillness in the comments, peace. For it is precisely from this silence that I am drawing the colors to paint the new scenario of your life, a future that I have designed with every detail of my love. I have already drawn the corners where you will turn and find my provision, the doors that will open without you needing to force them, and the encounters that will seem like coincidences, but which will, in fact, be my provisions. I saw you worried about tomorrow, feeling the weight of the keys in your hand and wondering if you would have the strength to continue opening the same paths as always. But I tell you, what I have prepared for you is not a repetition of your past. I am charting an escape route from all this anguish and a direct map to the center of my will, where there is an abundance of joy and rest for your spirit. You have spent too much time looking at the ground, focused on the obstacles and thorns that wounded your feet during the journey. Now, I ask you, lift your eyes. See the horizon that I am coloring for you. Every tear you shed served to water the soil where flowers of hope will now sprout and never wither. Nothing you have lived through was in vain. Each scar will be proof of my faithfulness in your future. For it is written in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I see you sometime from now, looking back and smiling as you realize that the pain that seemed eternal was just a necessary season to prepare you for the greatness of what is to come. You will hold in your hands the testimony of the restoration of your home, your health, and your relationships. The future I have designed for you smells of wet earth after the rain and the warmth of the sun that dissipates the densest fog. You are not an accident. You are a project planned by the Creator of the universe. If you trust in the plans I have for your life, like this message to seal your hope. Can you believe that the best of your story is yet to be written? Write our word of promise in the comments, hope. But understand, my daughter, that your greatest strength will not come from your armor, but from the courage to be who you are before me, even with the wounds that are still healing. Many around you called you weak because they saw your tears fall uncontrollably, but I call you a warrior because I saw that you used those same tears to cleanse the path of your new beginning. The world values hardness, the heart of stone that feels nothing, and the unbreakable mask of perfection, but I value the soul that pours itself out in my presence. Your strength does not reside in your ability to endure everything alone, but in your courage to admit that you need me. It is in your vulnerability that my power finds the perfect space to manifest itself in all its fullness. I saw you struggling to keep your spine straight while your insides crumbled into 1,000 pieces. I saw the superhuman effort you made, not to collapse in front of those who depend on you, but here, in this sacred moment, you don't need to be anyone's fortress. You can simply be my daughter. Feel the weariness leaving your bones and the tension abandoning your muscles. For it is written in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." When you reach the end of your resources, that is when my infinite supply begins to be released upon your life. The pain you emptied today didn't leave you empty. It made you available to be filled by a force that is not human. It is a resilience born of prayer, a firmness that comes from faith, and an authority possessed only by those who have been ground down and remade by my hands. You will emerge from this experience stronger than when you entered, not because the pain hardened you, but because my love rebuilt you. You are living proof that life can spring forth from what seemed dead. If you receive my strength now, share this video as an act of faith. Where do you most need my strength to manifest in your life today? Write our word of victory in the comments. Power. The moment has arrived, my beloved, to seal everything that has been said and revealed to your heart. I have been here with you in every word, in every breath and in every beat of your heart as you listened to my voice. Together we saw the weight you secretly carried, the tears that soaked your pillow, and the pain that seemed to have become part of who you are. But now, as we reach this point in our journey, I want you to breathe deeply and feel the difference in the air around you. The burden you brought when this video began no longer belongs to you. I have taken it for myself, and in return I have given you my peace, my restoration, and the certainty that your future is held in my hands. This message was our appointed meeting, a direct sign from the throne to let you know that you were never alone, not even in the coldest dawns or the most painful silences. Everything we discussed here is a seed of eternal life planted in your spirit, and I myself will ensure that it bears fruit in visible miracles in your daily life. Do not fear what tomorrow will bring, for I am already there, preparing the ground for your victory. The pain has been emptied so that my love may overflow. Remember what I promised you at the beginning of this time together. I said there would be a clear answer and a spiritual key for those who remained until the end. This key is not just a phrase, but a truth that must govern every step you take from now on. When weariness tries to return, when doubt knocks at your door, or when the world seems too big for your strength, you must declare with all the authority of your soul the phrase that I now whisper to your heart. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Write this phrase in the comments right now as your final act of surrender and faith. As you write, feel as if you are signing a decree of victory over all areas of your life. May these words be the seal that you accept my strength in place of your weakness. There is still much I wish to reveal to you, many secrets of my heart that I want to share with you in our next messages. Do not stray from my voice. Continue walking with me, immersing yourself in the words I have left for you in the playlists of this channel, for each one is a step on the ladder of your restoration. I will continue speaking to you, caring for you, and loving you today and forever. Go in peace, my beloved daughter, and take with you the light that I have just restored in your eyes. I uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness, and renew your breath so that you may soar like eagles.